Hello students, welcome back to the fifth lecture on electric charge and electric field. In this video, we will discuss about area vector, electric flux and Gauss law. What is area vector? A vector can be represented as A vector is equal to A into n cap, where A magnitude of the vector, n cap is the unit vector along that vector. Let's consider this plane surface. For this plane surface, it is a rectangular surface. So, what is the area of this rectangular surface? It is length into breadth. Now, what is the direction of area vector for this surface? It is perpendicular to the surface. If the surface is like this, now area vector is given by the outward normal. Now this surface is along YZ plane. So the area vector is along x-axis. Thus the direction of area vector is along outward normal. For example, if we will consider the other surface, the area vector is along outward normal to this surface. If we will consider a three-dimensional object, here are 6 surfaces. Area vector for this surface is like this. Area vector for this surface can be shown like this. For this surface it can be shown like this, and so on. So for plane surfaces it can be shown by one direction, which is normal to the surface in the outward direction. For this surface like this. For this surface it is like this. For plane surface, the direction of area vector is constant. You can take the example. For the surface in xy plane, area vector is along z-axis. What about a curved surface? For a curved surface, we can consider a spherical surface. The direction of area vector is different at different places. If it is a sphere, we can consider this the surface of the sphere. Particularly at this place, area vector is perpendicular to this small area along outward normal. At this place, it is along the outward normal. Here it is along outward normal. So area vector direction is different at different places. This is a cylinder. Here are 3 surfaces. This here is the plane surface, this side plane surface, and one curved surface. For plane surfaces it is along the outward normal like this here. For this surface it is along the outward normal. But for the curved surface, area vector at this place can be shown like this, perpendicular to the surface, perpendicular to that particular area. For a curved surface, we have to consider very small areas. We can say it is a point. The point, it is not exactly a point. Very small area you have to consider. It is called dA. And the area vector can be shown by the outward normal, particularly at that place. For this small area, area vector is along the outward normal. We can see at each point area vector changes its direction. So the direction of area vector for a curved surface is different for different places. So this is all about area vector. Now the concept of area vector is used to find the electric flux and the magnetic flux. The question is, what is electric flux? Electric flux is the measure of electric field lines passing through a surface perpendicularly. Here these lines represent the electric field. These lines are electric field lines. The number of field lines passing through this surface perpendicularly is the measure of electric flux passing through this surface. If electric field lines are closer to each other, that is the strength of the field is more, then the electric flux passing through the surface will be more. If area is more, then electric flux will be more. Electric flux passing through a surface depends upon the angle between the electric field and the area vector also. Let's consider this case. These are the electric field lines. Now to find the electric flux passing through this surface, we have to see what is the angle between the electric field vector and the area vector. If the angle between electric field and area vector here it is 180 degree. When it is rotated like this, now the angle changes. Here this is the area vector. Now in this case, if the surface is like this, then the angle between the area vector and the electric field, it is 90 degree. When the angle is 90 degree, you see no field lines pass. When the angle is 180 degree or angle is for this side it is 0 degree, then maximum field lines pass. So the flux through this surface depends upon electric field strength, area of the surface and the angle. When the angle is 0 degree or 180 degree, then the flux is maximum. Thus, the electric flux passing through a surface depends upon electric field strength, area of that surface and the angle between the electric field and the area vector. Here the electric field is given by these lines. Now area vector is given by n cap. Theta is the angle between electric field and the area vector. For theta 0 degree or 180 degree, the value of the flux is maximum. Theta 90 degree, flux is 0. So this can be written as electric flux phi is equal to E S cos theta. When field strength is more, flux is more. When area is more, flux is more. When theta is equal to 0 or 180 degree, then the value of the flux is more. Though for theta 180 degree it is minus, negative. Negative flux means flux entering to a surface, field lines entering to a surface. Thus, phi is equal to E S cos theta, it means E dot S. So now this is the quantitative definition of electric flux. Electric flux is the dot product of electric field strength and area vector. Electric flux is the dot product of electric field and area vector. Thus electric flux is a scalar, but its value can be positive or negative depending upon the value of cos theta. The unit of electric field is Newton meter square by Coulomb. Since the unit of electric field is Newton by Coulomb and area meter square, so the unit is Newton meter square by Coulomb in SI. Accordingly, the dimensional formula of flux is m L to the power 3 T to the power minus 3 and A to the power minus 1. Let's see different cases when the flux through a surface will be maximum and when it will be minimum. When theta is equal to 0 degree, that is the area vector and the electric field, they are in the same direction. So flux phi is equal to Es cos 0, that is equal to Es. So maximum flux and field lines leaving the surface. Theta is equal to 0 degree means field lines are leaving the surface. But if you will consider the surface just below, the area vector is downwards. Downwards means perpendicular to the surface and outward to that surface. That area vector and the electric field, the angle is 180 degree. When the angle is 180 degree, phi is equal to Es cos 180 degree. Cos 180 is equal to minus 1. So it is equal to minus Es. That is the flux value is again maximum but the field lines entering the surface. That is, for this side flux is entering, so flux is negative. For the upper side flux is leaving the surface, so flux is positive. If we will consider this case, that is the area vector and the electric field, they are perpendicular, angle is equal to 90 degree. So case 3, when theta is equal to 90 degree, phi is equal to Es cos 90, that is equal to 0. That means no field lines pass through the surface. Let's consider one example. The electric field is along x-axis. It is 65 Newton by Coulomb I cap. A surface, this is the surface which is in the YZ plane, having area 0.01 meter square. Find the electric flux passing through this surface. What is phi through that surface? We know phi is equal to E dot S vector. The value of area vector is given. But what is the direction? Since S vector is equal to S into n cap, value of S is 0.01 meter square. What is the direction of n cap? The surface is along YZ plane and area vector is along outward normal. X-axis is now perpendicular to this YZ plane. That means the direction of this area vector is along x-axis. So S vector is equal to 0.01 meter square I cap. This I cap gives the direction of area vector. Area is in YZ plane, means area vector is perpendicular to it, so it is along x-axis. E vector is 65 Newton per Coulomb I cap. Area vector is 0.01 meter square I cap. Now you can use phi is equal to E dot S. It is 65 Newton per Coulomb I cap dot 0.01 meter square I cap. Now these two values, 65 into 0.01 Newton meter square by Coulomb, here is I cap dot I cap. I cap dot I cap is equal to 1. Thus the value of the flux is equal to 0.65 Newton meter square by Coulomb. This is one formula to find the electric flux. You can use E dot S or you can use Es cos theta by knowing the value of theta, by putting the value of theta. There is another law which is used to find the flux passing through a closed surface. That law is Gauss law. Gauss law in electrostatics is used to determine the electric flux passing through closed surfaces as well as the electric field due to different types of charge distributions. According to Gauss law, the electric flux passing through a closed surface is equal to the total charge enclosed by the surface divided by epsilon naught. Q charge is enclosed by this surface. The electric field lines are outwards. Now total flux linked with this surface is equal to Q divided by epsilon naught. If more number of charges are enclosed by this surface, Q1, Q2, Q3, then the flux through this surface, it will be Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 divided by epsilon naught. In other words, phi can also be written as integration of E dot ds. Since d phi is equal to E dot ds, so phi is equal to integration of d phi, that is equal to integration of E ds. E dot ds. This sign on the integration represents the closed surface. So Gauss law is applicable to closed surface. It can also be written as integration of E dot ds over a closed surface is equal to total charge enclosed, Q enclosed divided by epsilon naught. where epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space and epsilon naught is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 Coulomb square by Newton meter square. Now the statement of Gauss law, the electric flux passing through a closed surface is 1 by epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed by the surface, or the surface integral of the electric field around a closed surface is 1 by epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed by the surface. So in this video we discussed about area vector, electric flux and Gauss law. In the next video we will discuss about the applications of Gauss law and numericals on Gauss law. Thank you.